A taxi driver picked up a drunk 17-year-old girl from the street, took her to McDonald's, then drove her to his house where he raped her, a court has heard. The married cabbie told the girl he would take her home for free, after the teen said she had no money. Homeless man turns his doorway into Christmas grotto to spread festive cheer, but instead he took her to a McDonald's restaurant before driving her to his house in the Hafod area of Swansea and newly assaulting her. Katar Shahin denied rape, claiming the vulnerable girl was a prostitute and he had paid her £20 for. But he was convicted of rape following a trial at Swansea Crown Court. Police have praised the courage of the youngster in coming forward, and have branded Shahin a ually predator. The court heard that, in the early hours of June 4 last year, the girl was walking towards the centre of Swansea after leaving the friends she had spent the night with. She had taken alcohol, cannabis and a sleeping tablet, and was heavily intoxicated. At the same time, Shahin was finishing his shift for the night, and was driving to the McDonald's restaurant in CWMDU for something to eat. Neglected dog gets 3-hour makeover to shave off 4.5 pounds of matted fur. The court heard the taxi driver saw the girl and pulled up beside her, asking if she needed a lift. She said she didn't have any money, but Shahin said he would take her home for free. During the trial, the girl said she only got into the vehicle because it was a taxi, and she believed all taxis were fitted with CCTV for passengers' safety. Shahin drove to the McDonald's and bought his victim a Coke. He bought himself some food, then drove to his house in Abbey Street, Hafod, telling the girl he had to pop in before he could take her home. The court heard the 40-year-old told the passenger he could not leave her alone in his cab, so she agreed to go into the house with him. In the house he offered her alcohol, which she refused, then began trying to kiss and fondle her. The girl resisted his advances but began to feel drowsy, and passed out. The next thing she remembered was waking up naked with a used condom on the floor. Shahin later drove her into town, leaving her outside the Full Moon pub in High Street. The court heard the girl went home, and the following day contacted police saying she thought she had been raped but was not sure. The girl was able to recall the house number where the attack happened but did not know the street name. However, she was able to describe the area, and that, combined with officers' local knowledge, led them to the correct address. ISIS has been destroyed, declares Iranian president. When officers searched Shahin's house, they found a used condom containing both the defendant's and the victim's DNA. The defendant initially claimed he had masturbated into the condom after giving the girl a lift home, later changing his story and saying his victim was a prostitute and he had paid her £20 for claims he maintained during his trial. However, a jury rejected his version of events, and found him guilty of rape. Barrister Robin Rauch, for Shahin, said his client had worked since coming to the UK from Bangladesh, and regularly sent money back to his country of birth to support his family. The barrister said there had been no concerns about his behavior prior to the June incident, and that his client had not picked up the girl up with the intention of raping her. Judge Geraint Walters told Shahin his claim the teenager has been working as a prostitute was a scandalous assertion which the jury found to be a complete lie. He said, "It seems to me you probably picked up this girl because you observed she appeared to be heavily under the influence of alcohol. To an extent she was targeted. By the time you drove to McDonald's that night, you had decided to see if you could have with her. By the time you raped her, you knew she was under the influence of alcohol and drugs." Shahin was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and will be on the offenders register for the rest of his life. Speaking after the sentencing, South Wales Police Detective Sergeant Mark Hayes said despite the serious ually assault, the victim had the strength and courage to support the police prosecution and gave vital evidence of her harrowing and traumatic experience. This ually predator used his taxi as a means to take the vulnerable victim to a place which she thought was her home, but instead he used the situation to commit rape. He added, "In addition, I would like to highlight that the victim was supported throughout by specialist officers from Marston SID, who continue to work tirelessly for victims of ually assault and target and pursue individuals who exploit the most vulnerable persons within our society." More, at least 50 dead after suicide bombing at mosque in Nigeria. More, thousands of Christmas cards sent to boy 9, given a month to live.